Where is this stuff? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Crypto Pulse Weekly.
Good evening.
Good evening, Albert. Good evening, Dr. Larry. Good evening, Mr. Badewa. Welcome once again to Crypto Pulse Weekly. As promised last week, this week I'm going to talk about the optimism protocol, and I'm going to talk about the current Bitcoin dump and the Silvergate saga. I don't know if you've heard about it. So Silvergate is one of the major crypto brokerage banks, if I may use that word, or crypto banks. What Silvergate does is they provide on-ramp for institutional cryptocurrency organizations like Coinbase, and the very big organizations that have crypto play. So what's happened is they're under some pressure, I think, from SEC. They've not been able to file some of their statutory reports, and as a result of that, people feel that maybe they're going under, or maybe they're going to get hammered by the government, and as a result, there's some sort of sell-off. Like I always said, the market will look for an opportunity to sell off to the nearest technical level, if I may use that word. So I think I should start from there actually. So let me share my screen on Zoom. Let's see. I think it's number. Why is not sharing? Number 2. Okay. So yeah, sharing number 2. So to start with, as I mentioned last week, the market was headed for. Let me widen this candles a bit so that it makes it more visible. The markets were headed for something that looked like a downturn, which is what we're seeing here. So this was last week's candle, and the data that I was talking about last week. That it seemed to be posting something that looked like one form of variation. It's not sealed in stone yet, but it sure looks. It doesn't look good, except if the coming week, takes a recovery from the 21,500 or 700 level. But if it doesn't do that, I think we're headed back towards 16,000 level. There was a massive sell-off last night. I think it was the China markets, or the Asian market. Let's say that the Asian market at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. That's probably like 2 a.m. Nigeria time. Yeah, you can see that huge sell-off from 23,414 to. Wow, I didn't know it went that far. That's Bybit, right? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, that's Bybit. Where is the? So, yeah, this is a better one. Let me use this one. Yeah, so it went from 23,416. Yes. Wow. I didn't even realize that. It went as low as 22,000 last night. But I just woke up and saw that some of my sales orders, all my sales orders on this stuff on altcoins and Bitcoin had really hit, and they triggered their take profit because the structure did look like it was coming down. I was expecting a gentle slope. I didn't expect this downpour. This is like how much is that? From the market level before the carnage started, that's a total of about, yeah, 6% drop. 6% drop in 2 hours. So it's significant because yeah, that was when the Silvergate story broke into the markets, and of course the market responded immediately. I think there's going to be another drastic drop, partly because okay, so I usually draw this to try to figure out what the Elliott wave pattern for the market structure is like. So I'd drawn this A B C D E, and initially I dragged it here, thinking that it was going to come all the way down. But when it went up here, I dragged it up here, and then I left it down here. I woke up this morning, I saw that exactly just about 200 or $300 below that point was where he eventually exited the market. So frankly speaking, I think we're either going to try to retest this very shortly and then break sideways, or we have another massive drawdown into the sub 20k levels. Like I said, anything that goes to sub 20k level from now on is in a buy zone, and the reason is just simple. We're now about is it 12? We're now about 12 months to the halving. Give me a second. I had the date somewhere. Bitcoin halving countdown. Yeah, we're about. I don't know about this guy. Where is this guy? This 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 website seems to have gone crazy. Let me just go into CoinGecko zone. Bitcoin halving. Okay, that's a better one. Yeah, so yeah, this is a better one. So this one's a better one. So we're just short of yes, March 29. We're just like almost 1 year away from Bitcoin halving. My estimation is that by the 20, so today is the 3rd, by the 29th or the 31st of March, we should start seeing some sideways range on the market. I think all the carnage that is going to happen, yeah, all the carnage that is going to happen before or that needs to happen to get to the bottom should happen on or before the 29th. 29th somewhere around this. Okay, this 1 hour, it's too far away. Anyways, what I'm saying is, I think we're ripe for the drop. The market wasn't really going anywhere, so uh, from a technical standpoint, on the daily, which is actually a very reliable index as well, we are in fact we're in a serious downturn. Okay, on the daily, I can categorically say that we're headed downward. On the weekly, it's not. We might still be able to recover on the weekly level. On the daily, based on this current structure, honestly speaking, 18,000 is the reasonable level of support at this point. And the reason is not far. Okay, well, before 18,000, 21,500. I don't think 21,500 is going to hold strong because that just it shows up like a double top pattern. So a double top pattern is a double top or a double bottom on a daily is a confirmed reversal sign. So I think that based on this, if the 22,000 level does not hold, uh, yeah, it's 22,000, right? Yeah, 21,000 ish. Yeah, 21,300. If 21,000 region, 22,000, okay, we're in 20,000 now. So if 21,000 does not hold, definitely, the next line of support is sitting at around 18,000. Uh, I don't know how soon it's going to get there. I don't know. I've not really investigated the Stargate saga in detail, but I think that it's one of those things that the market just looks for as an opportunity to literally dump, and that's what's happened. Will it become really bad? Yeah, there's a potential for it to get bad, but If it comes down fast, I think it's also good because there's a lower trend line here that shows that the market has been picking up, and since the market's been picking up on this trend line from, I think that was from 15,005, we've not retested that trend line, and I've left it in place just in case to see if the market comes down there, and it looks like it's headed for that rapidly. If it drops very rapidly, which is which is likely once you cross 21,000, because this massive rise up, massive lineup or massive price action that goes almost vertical is what you call market defect. Uh, that market defect needs to be filled, so it's likely to come down the same way, and then if it's going to come down the same way, then trade up gradually or just go down and come back again later. So, but most likely, like the Yoruba people say, is that what goes up is come down. Most likely, it's going to come down the same way. In which case, the bottom of the structure for this double top would then be around 16,000 or 17,000. Is it a bad thing? Not necessarily. It gives a good opportunity to take positions on some of the altcoins that we've been talking about. Remember, I talked about optimism yes last week, and I told you that it was too hot, and I told you that after I think that after 3.3 it was going to come down, and that's exactly what has happened. So here is optimism, literally hit that point 3.3 and has been coming down since then. Like I said, Bitcoin will drag most markets down, naturally speaking. So if Bitcoin drags it down with its downward pull, then a good entry point would definitely be, yeah, 1.3 is a good fair point. 1.3 is a good entry point. But the perfect one, honestly speaking, perfect one will be $1. But 1.3 is still fair value. Now that I've said that, I've never really considered that there was a trend line here. So if you consider this trend line, it's a very old trend line as well. Let me bring it up a little. Think, yeah. So yes, 1.3 at that point, I think is fair market value for optimism. I'll be looking anything below 1.5. I think it's anything below 1.3. Let me say that, or 1.32 is good entry to buy optimism. So optimism was what I wanted to talk about today, as a potential play for the next halving of 2024-2025. Why optimism? So optimism, like many of the its family members of the Ethereum layer 2 order, is a layer 2 solution. And a layer 2 solution is a solution that seeks to augment a layer 1 solution. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, you can consider them, Cardano, you can consider them layer 1 solutions. They're layer 1 solutions because they are primary blockchains on which you can build what you call decentralized applications. If I'm speaking too much grammar, let me just explain. The apps you have on your phone are applications. For you to run them, somebody will put a piece of code and then launch that piece of code on the iOS platform. So Ethereum is like a crypto iOS platform. Let me use that word. I think that's the best analogy I can give for Ethereum. So Ethereum is like a crypto iOS platform. The only difference is that instead of having to pay Apple for hosting your application on iOS, you pay the Ethereum network for carrying out transactions on the Ethereum network. So you can, anybody can host a wallet, anybody can launch a contract. You can write a smart contract on Ethereum and launch it, and pay for the gas fee for running it on Ethereum. And as people interact with it, they pay as well. That keeps the maintenance of the network going and also incentivizes the what do you call the miners or people who have proof of stake, because Ethereum has now moved to proof of stake. So the problem, however, with layer 1 solution is scalability. So it's secure, it's decentralized, It's scalable, but it's scalable to a degree. Once it crosses the threshold of scalability, then the transactions become the bidder's market. So if you remember in that was 2021, I think 2021, probably November, October, or April, May. I can't remember which one. When the gas price was so high that it was almost prohibitive, I mean, highly prohibitive to try to carry out transaction on the Ethereum network. The reason the transaction fees got so high was because a lot of people were making demands on the network. And once the demand gets to a particular threshold, the network becomes quote unquote congested. And to deal with the congestion, it raises the bid price to lower supply or to lower demand. Let me say that, and then you find the network or MetaMask giving you options of high, medium, low, or something like that, or slow, fast. I can't remember the options, but there are three options. One is fast, one is medium, and one is slow. So of course, the fast one is going to cost more in terms of gas fees, but that's how layer one solutions manage scalability. But it's not a sustainable model, but it was deliberately built like that so that it can be a secure blockchain. So to mitigate this issue or to address this issue or to alleviate the issue, actually, not to mitigate it, to alleviate the issue, layer 2 solutions try to summarize the transactions on their own blockchain, then post the summary of those transactions on the layer 1 blockchain. I explained it about 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago when I was saying, it's like in accounting when you have a control account and a subledger. The control account is the account category that holds information for all those kind of accounts. And a very good example is, your vendor account or supplier account. Your suppliers are the people that work with you. You usually will owe them money. Your customers are the people you sell to. They will usually owe you money. Now, in accounting, the customer and the vendor accounts are regarded as what you call control accounts, or in some clients, reconciliation accounts. And the reason they call them that is because they are like parent accounts. Yes, that's a good word. They're like parent accounts to all that type of account. So for a vendor account, if all my vendors that I work with are like 20, all of them will belong to one supplier account, which is a control account. But under that supplier account, each of them will have what we call a subledger, representing the individual vendor that I need to pay. So what happens is the way finance and accounting treats those accounts is that they need to roll up into each other and report at the top. So all the vendor accounts are bunched together and reported as accounts payable. All the customer accounts are bunched together and reported as accounts receivable. And that's exactly how this principle works with layer one and layer two solutions. So Optimism use what you call optimistic roll-ups, in which it summarizes all the transactions that happen on its blockchain, then posts it as one entry on Ethereum blockchain. I can't remember the frequency of posting, but the whole idea is that it can scale up really fast and is able to handle very large number of transactions. Now, in principle, yes, this is a very good solution, works well, and there's a lot of noise about it. So you can see that it's really done well in the last how many days since 2023, literally since the year started. Optimism has made about 250% gain, 264% gain since the beginning of the year. So there's been a lot of noise about Optimism and what they're doing and all that. However, we're in a bear market, so there's a benefit of the doubt on the sustainability of the pump, and that's played out on the chart with that double top formation, telling us that the market is definitely coming down for Optimism. Now, definitely it will come to 2.2 first. If it doesn't hold at 2.2, then you find some level at 1.8. Then it will come to the 1.5 and 1.3 level. But definitely, I'm expecting it to hit 1.3 at the minimum for it to make sense. At 1.3, it makes sense because then you can be sure. In fact, how am I saying? Yes, if it comes down to 1.3, let me give you an extrapolation here. If it comes down to 1.3 and the market goes sideways from there, then you can expect it to easily get to 4.7 very easily in the short term. Even before the bull run is in full swing, can easily get to 4.7. And on the longer term, yeah, on the longer term it will exceed that. But in the short term, it get to 4.7. Right now, I don't think it's gonna make it beyond. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I said 1 point. Where was that stuff? 1 point. Let's see it. Okay, 1.5. Yes. So if the market takes a U-turn at 1.5, we'll first hit 1.34 for the price of optimism before heading to heading to the stratosphere. So keep optimism in mind. I think you can get optimism on KuCoin and Binance if you are so interested. But I think it's going to make a lot of noise. Layer two solutions generally are going to pump significantly. So instead of keeping your money in Ethereum, consider optimism. Consider Matic. There's one other one I want to remember. It's another one. If I remember, I'll post it. The layer two solutions, Matic and optimism generally, I expect them to pump significantly. I talked about Solana. I talked about Solana in times past. And the reason I talked about Solana was because of the effect of SBF and the FTX saga. Do I think Solana is going to still, recover? Definitely, it's going to recover. But in the near term, I think Solana will definitely come below the $20 mark. And then by then I'll be looking at what Bitcoin is doing before making a decision. Somebody asked me a question about Matic just now. Matic, let me see. This is not looking good. Okay. Matic, 50 cents. I think it's going to come below 50 cents. It's probably going to try this 25 cents is the best entry because I'm not sure it's going to get to 21 at this rate. 25 cents is the best entry, but 50 cents is fair value. But 25 cents is perfect entry because at 25 cents, let me plot it. At 25 cents, if you hold it for 18 months, this is 25 cents again. Yes, this is 25 cents. If you hold it for 18 months, and it will probably not up to 18 months for it to go back to all-time high. That's 1,000% on whatever you're putting there. That's a 10x. To make it to say it in crypto terms is 10x your investment. So I think Matic is a good buy. But I'm waiting for it to come down. When it comes to the 25 cents region, absolute buy. Solana, I've said that I'm still waiting for Solana to come down because we have not seen the bottom of Bitcoin, so I think it's a bit difficult to predict how low Solana can go. Will it go lower than before? Maybe not. I think before it touched on $8. $10 is a good entry because most likely it might try $8 again. It might even attempt to go further. But I'm wary of trying to go below that. I think 10 is a fair price. Will it go below that? Well, maybe not. Um, yeah, it doesn't look nice on this. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't look like. So yeah, that's what I was. It doesn't look nice on the daily. On the daily, wow. If current levels don't hold on the daily for Solana, I think Solana will come down to definitely to £10. I mean, £10, $10, probably to 7.8. At 7.8, I think or 8. 8 is fair value. 8 is a very good value because at 8 again. Just like I just mentioned for optimism, this is 8. But let's say 9. Or we're 8.10. At 8.10, 8.7, or 8 points or 9, even 9, going back to all time high is, I think, hold on a second. I think it's about all time high. Wow, very good value. 27x. So the immediate question is, will you ever get there? Trust me. If Solana is still alive, which most likely will still be by the next bull run, trust me, it's going back to all time high. So, like I said, this is the time to sow, quote unquote, at the risk of sounding like a Pentecostal pastor. But this is planting season for long-term crypto holding, because the market is just the prices are like really really rock bottom, like really really rock bottom. Anything from 8 for Solana, yes, you can ask about other coins if you want to. Anything from 8 for Solana, I think is a good one. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah, so the Silvergate stuff, I don't know how it's going to pan out. Okay, someone is asking about QNT or Wigo. Wigo swap. The newcomers. Let's see. I'm not. Okay, let me use this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we have enough data to work with concerning Wigo. I mean QNT is obviously like, yeah, yeah. We don't have enough. We don't have enough data for Wigo. So I don't even think it's on the open market yet. I know about it because I interact with DeFi protocols. So I don't think Wigo is on the open market. We can't technically quantify what it's going to look like. Sorry, not QBT, QNT. So QNT. Let's use this one. Okay. Let's see what the data looks like. Similar to the other. Okay. Okay. So we bottomed out last year. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so we're coming down now. Hold on a second. Let me see what this looks like on the weekend. Oh yeah, that's not good. Okay, that doesn't look good. 12.1 will be an absolute bottom, but I don't think it makes sense. But yeah, never say never actually. Never say never. 12.1 is an absolute bottom. 58.5 is a good entry. But absolute bottom 12.1, after 12.1, it's pumping. 1, 2, 3, 1. So yeah. So the same thing here. It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, 12.1, 11, 12.1. Good entries for week. QNT. QNT is good too. I don't know. Terra, I'm not sure about Terra. I don't think Terra is a good project. If it's the same Terra that I know, except unless it's another Terra. I think they're a bunch of useless people. Anyways, uh, of course, ICP. I've talked about ICP many, many, many times in times past. It's one of those projects that has a lot of pumpamentals, as we like to say it. It has a lot of people who know how to pump. You can see from 300, it just went down. It's a serious pump and dump coin. But having said that, because it has come down significantly from its tops. So right now, my thinking is that after this particular, so the last bottom was, oh sorry, Why is it showing me that though? Sorry about that. Okay, I picked the wrong chat. If you'd like to see the charts, we can watch the videos on our YouTube channel, Crypto Pulse Weekly, to see the charts, or you can join the Zoom if you want to see it live. So what I'm saying is that ICP was very good because he has a lot of community and developers and I don't want to, let me not use the word noisemakers, but they know how to shield their coins. So I mean, this stuff sold as much as $80 last season. So right now, it's in underwater region. Uh, right now, let me see. I'll keep an eye on all of this against yeah. So how's that gonna pan out? Give me a second. Let me do it. Let me do it. I like ICP. ICP is a good project. I already gave you the enterprise for QNT. I can't remember the enterprise I gave you. You might have to watch the video. Anyways, uh, yeah, this downward, I think it's gonna pull down. If it pulls down a bit, let's say, yeah, ICTR 3.4. Yeah, it sort of agrees with the long term range. So ICP as at 3.5, 3.4 is perfect entry. 4.55 fair entry. Bearing in mind that if you just leave it to do 10x, where is that stuff? This nonsense candle has killed the market for ICP. It makes it difficult to. But let me just show you some of the data from 2021. So if it goes halfway of what you did in 2021 and you bought at, even if you bought at current price, by the time you've done 75, yeah, more than 10x. But ICP is, yeah, it's definitely one of those ones that will make a very big impact in the times to come. Okay, what did I say about QNT? I said 57 is good, 57 is good, but 25 is perfect. Yeah, that's what I said. Uh, PKR, I think is a Polkadot. If I remember very well, it's a Polkadot project. Polkadot has been silent, really silent. It's just been following the large trend. Very good project though. They had a lot of nice concepts in terms of what they wanted to do on the market. They wanted to auction their blockchain. It's very looked like a very good idea. Oh yes, bear market has happened to them. So yes, PKR doesn't have enough. I don't think it has enough data to run it through. Yeah, this is a very out of structureless, literally structureless charts. Not a big fan of PKR. CAS. I know this CAS, but I don't think it has enough data as well. So some of these coins that you hear about, they're still on Casper. Okay, I know Casper. They're still on decentralized exchanges. As a result, many of them don't have data on normal exchanges. So for Casper, I think Casper has topped out. Yeah, pretty much. I think Casper has topped out for them. Possible entry 0.00005. Possible entry or 0.00045. I'm going to do one more before we call it a day. Yeah, I've seen Casper. I've seen it's on like see Pulse Pad. Pulse Pad. I think Pulse Pad is on Pulse Pad. No, it's decentralized as well. It should be Pulse maybe. Yeah, it's really yeah. I think so. Pulse Pad is decentralized. Oh yeah, decentralized. This is This is interesting. This is fantastic stuff. It looks funny, but it's really interesting. So this chart is representing price action on the Uniswap protocol. You see me smiling. They are beginning to chart price action on the Uniswap protocol. It's very interesting. Anyways, yeah. So again, be strategic about your crypto investments. Don't Nobody makes money overnight in any field. That's just the truth. Even if you made it overnight, the groundwork will have been more than overnight. So it's important to give yourself time. We have over a year to halving, meaning the price will start once we hit approximately 12 months, which is like 29. The price will start inching upward. So now it's time to start looking for opportunity to buy. Like I said, maybe one or two Ford events to drag down the market a bit before it pumps up. But now is the time, really. Now is the time to get it started. I don't know if there are any other questions. Those are the only other things I wanted to talk about today. Um, I think next week I'm going to talk again about keeping track of your crypto portfolio because it can be crazy. Okay, please remind me to talk about AI coins next month. I mean next week. I'll talk about AI coins and how to keep your portfolio, at least keep track of it. See, when you start getting heavily invested in crypto, there is the possibility that you just be buying coins, and hanging it there, and you're not taking cognizance of what you're buying, and as a result, you can't tell what your crypto portfolio is worth. It's a good idea to know what your crypto portfolio is worth and to know where you kept them because if you don't, sometimes if it's a centralized exchange, you can just sit on it. There was a time Bittrex sat on my, was it Ethereum or USDT? I can't even remember. I dragged them both online and offline. They said I couldn't provide. I can't remember something I said. They said I couldn't provide. It was until I found out that okay, transaction ID. I found out later it was they usually sent me the email, but I never really took notice of it. But they weren't going to allow me to log into that account, and it was just an exchange account that it was dormant for like 5 months. So be careful how you store your crypto. I've talked about this before. You need to have a strategy for storing your crypto. But be careful how you store it and find a way to track it. I'll talk about that next week along with the AI coins. The AI coins are just here to chop money. Let me use that word. I mean that's the truth. They're just here for the hype. They'll pump and when the devs are tired, they'll sell off. So I'll talk about AI coins and I'll talk about managing your crypto portfolio next week. Do have a lovely. Oh yeah. One more thing. One more thing. I noticed that the banks in UK have a general agreement that you can't spend more than a particular amount on crypto purchases. So one of my bankers told me this in January. Another bank sent me an email today saying, you can't spend so more than so amounts, or maybe per time or per month. I can't remember on crypto. So just be aware of that. There are other on-ramp methods that I can't share online that you can use to get crypto. But just be aware of that. That if you're in the UK, you may not be able to buy as much as you want because the banks are putting the limits. And like I've said before, the central bank currency, central bank digital currency initiative is very much happy. In fact, HMRC tried to hire somebody for it, and they were offering £60,000, and I was laughing at like these guys. They don't know what's going on. Who's going to collect £60,000 from you for blockchain development? Something that boys are collecting 200,000 for. Anyways, um, so understand that yes, CBDC is coming. Like I said, 2024 max. One CBDC is going to launch. So it's important that understand that these are digital assets, like having properties. You need to know, at least you need to know where your property is and how the property is doing. So you need to, yeah, you need to give it serious consideration. I think that will be it for today. Thank you, everyone. If there are no questions, I'm happy to.
No, good evening.
Good evening, Albert.
Uh, Is there any something like a new project? Because a whole lot of new projects being bundled around that. I've been reading some of them in the media. Some of them fight out and all those things. So, is there any potential new projects around?
I'm cautious about new projects, and the reason I'm saying that is because one, the global economic crisis has not abated. Frankly speaking, the world is still in a mess from an economic standpoint. So there could still be, cataclysmic events on the financial side that could get the market crazy and make things go bad. So I'm very, very, very cautious. You will not see me talking about any new projects to anybody because I'm very cautious that many of these projects might get hit with some of this whiplash from the economic crisis and never get up. I mean, very good example was what's the name of this coin? Crypterium. Crypterium was they were so doing so well that Palm Beach Research recommended them, like really recommended that this coin is going to do like 100x something like that. He just never left it. I couldn't believe it. He never left the ground. Like it just flattened out. Later they came back and said they were changing their name. The project just never lifted off the ground. So it's you need to be strategic, and this is with benefit of hindsight of one go run pass. You need to be strategic about your approach to crypto asset. There are some coins that the ones I've told you they are going to pump. I mean, it's inevitable they're going to pump. Like it's like saying Ethereum is going to probably going to attempt 10k. Yes, probably Ethereum is going to attempt to go to 10k in the next bull or more. Or Bitcoin will definitely hit 100k or more. So it's inevitable for some of these coins that they're going to pump. For the other ones, like the meme coins, you can do 10,000x and you can do 0x. There's no guarantee. Ah, and I don't want to be quoted and saying, Dr. David said we should buy we should buy this coin, and the coin has gone down. So I'm very careful about suggesting new projects. Except I personally know the people that are doing the project. I'll probably not suggest it. Yeah, I've heard about Bridget, like many other ones. A couple of good projects, to be honest. But again, there are what you call what's the word now? There's the operating environment, and there are things that happen in the operating environment of any business. The global operating environment is very tough right now, so it's very pertinent that people don't spread themselves too thin. And I'm not a conservative person, by the way, when it comes to investment and risk taking. But when you're talking to other people, you need to factor in that people are not many people are used to failures or losses. So I try as much as possible to keep people on the conservative end of things so that people do not begin to feel that they're being led into losses. But in 1 year's time, everybody wants to talk about crypto and everybody wants to hear what I have to say. But I'm telling you, now is the time to be serious about it because everything is on discounts and everything is at the minimum going to go 10x. So if I had 100k, would I buy a rental property? No, not likely, because now is the time. In another 16 months, that 100k will fetch me like a million. So why should I buy a rental property that's going to give me 6% return or 8% return over the next 12 years? 12 months. So frankly speaking, don't spread yourself too thin. Focus on key, and I'll be talking about some of these coins every week, like the ones I talked about today. Last week I talked about Avax, I talked about Solana, I talked about Mantis as well. I'll talk about another set next week. These are confirmed projects that we know, and the reason we know is that some of them have been around for more than one cycle. Some of them have very strong venture capital backing, and once money flow changes direction from US dollar to equities, you begin to see some of these things begin to taking a lot of funds, and the overall market capitalization will start to go. So that's my take on new coins, Albert. Um, yeah,
Thank you, Doc.
yeah. So thank you very much, everyone. I see you guys on Instagram, TY Francis Mizonga, Atumba Jacob, my birthday mates, Sagbengulo, and Tayo. Have a nice weekend, everyone, and see you again next week when we talk about managing your portfolio and AI coins. Take care.